Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I will show you the different blockchain app ideas that you can build already this evening. You can do it quickly. And it doesn't matter whether you have an idea for Ethereum or Binance Chain or Polygon or some other blockchain. This video applies to all blockchains. And the only thing you need to know is just simple programming, and you can literally go to market within a few hours or maybe a few days. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to sit down, smash the like, watch all the way until the end. Most importantly, remember that I come to you each and every day and I make you a better blockchain developer. The first idea is that you can build your own decentralized exchange and start earning money. You can actually start earning money from people that use your exchange because you can take a fee. And when you hear about building a DEX, it might sound complicated, but the only features you need is number one, a way for users to log in so that you can track their account, you can track their transactions, you can show some kind of user profile to them. So that's number one, login with, for example, MetaMask or some other wallet. And the second feature you need to build is the actual order execution. And this is the most complicated thing, to build order execution and how different orders are matched, or you have liquidity pools and so on and so forth. The good thing is that you don't have to build it. You can just use Paraswap or 1inch API, which means that you just ask them, hey, this user, you just tell them, I have a user. You do it in plain JavaScript, just a HTTP request. You tell them, I have a user, they want to swap this asset for this asset. Please generate the transaction. And so 1inch and Paraswap, what they will do is that they will just give you a transaction, an already finished transaction that you can ask the user to sign in MetaMask. And that's it. So you just sign user to sign in MetaMask, and then you can follow the transaction. And when the transaction has finished, the user has their funds. Now they switch the funds, and you can even take an extra fee. You can say to Paraswap or 1inch, hey, when this transaction happens, give me 1% extra fee or 2% extra fee, and 1inch will give it to you, or Paraswap. So the way to do it is to do the login function using Moralis, and this is literally one line of code. So the first point right here is just one line of code. Use Moralis to do it like here. Next, you either go to 1inch API and you can find that docs.1inch.io/API, and you can see here that you have, for example, the quote endpoint. And so you just call this and you say, hey, this is the token that the user wants to sell, this is the token that user wants to buy, and this is how many of the token they want to sell or buy, and also the fee. You see, you become the referrer in this case, because you refer trading volume to 1inch or Paraswap, so you can actually get extra fee and earn money by just being the front end that users use to trade. And Paraswap have a very similar idea right here, that you can do your own, payments and swaps using their own. You can get a rate like this, swap or transfer. You can go and try, and this you go to Paraswap version 2.docs. Yeah, you see the URL. Just pause the video and go there. I mean, if you cannot figure out how to get to this URL, you'll probably not be able to build the DEX, but if you can just read from the screen the URL, I think you have skills enough, technical skills enough to do this. Anyway, guys, I'm joking a bit, but first idea, the DEX. This you can literally build in a few hours, because you just use Moralis SDK right here to quickly log in user and get all of their transactions, and then very easy with JavaScript, you just ask Paraswap or 1inch with one HTTP request, and you get the response back, which is already a finished transaction, and you have your DEX. Okay, our next multi-billion, maybe even multi-trillion dollar idea is portfolio tracker. The fact that your user logs in and they see all their assets, they see all their transactions. Maybe you can even incorporate that you calculate their tax, because you have everything you need to do that. Maybe you can even integrate this portfolio tracker into the DEX that we just described. But how do you do a portfolio tracker? Guys, this is literally one line of code. You need to log in your user, and you remember how to log in your user with Moralis. Go to moralis.io, sign up, and then go to documentation. So you go to docs.moralis.io, but you log in the user like this, like we already showed you, one line of code. And then you can go and you can see in your database all transactions. So XXX means that you will have ETH transactions, Binance Chain transactions, Matic transactions. So whatever chains you need, you will get, and it's XXX because it will be named like that. Then we have token transfers, token balances. So you just insert the chain here. Right now we support Ethereum, Binance Chain, Polygon. In the future it's going to be Cardano, Avalanche, so many others, Moonbeam. You get NFT owners. So if somebody logs into your app, instantly you know which NFTs they own and which NFTs they have transferred. So, I mean, this is all you need to build a nice dashboard. And that is my second multi-trillion, multi-billion, maybe even multi-million dollar idea, but reversed, you know the point. Let's move on, let's move on. The next Nobel Prize winning idea is to build some kind of NFT universe. This one is a bit more complex because this actually requires you to write smart contracts, but this is fantastic project to learn the basics of NFTs. And if you can build your own universe where you have some kind of characters, you know, you have some kind of monkey or something you do, you publish it on the blockchain, and then people can send monkeys to each other, they can breed new monkeys, stuff like that. I mean, this is really fantastic. And if you want to learn how this works, I do recommend that you go to ivanotech.com and you go to our academy, and I will show you a course which you can learn all of that, because this is a bit more complex. But if you go to courses and then you go to see all courses, and finally here you should find the DApp programming course. Let's see, DApp, here we search DApp, Ethereum DApp programming. So here you will learn a lot about how to build everything, you know, from scratch, how to design your own NFT, how to create a base cat. So here we're creating cat, Kitty's project, exactly. So if you want to create your own NFT universe with characters and stuff, then you need to learn Solidity, you need to learn UI, but with Moralis you can do so much. Once you have the smart contract going, you can do so much using Moralis, like fetching who has which cats, displaying a overview of everyone's cats. You go into a profile, into a user profile, you can see all their cats, you can send cats to each other, stuff like that. Anyway, NFT universe is my next big idea that you can take completely for free, I give you. The next idea is very simple, and maybe you can start with something like this, very simple, in order to learn, but this is the HODL bank. What does it mean? It means that you publish a smart contract, so you need to write some Solidity, and you can learn that in our academy, or you can also learn it on this channel. So you need to write a smart contract where people can insert ETH, and they can specify for how long they want to HODL it. And so you send in ETH to smart contract and you specify, hey, I want to HODL this for 1 year. And the smart contract will not give it back until 1 year has passed. And your project, your task is to, number one, build a smart contract so people can send in ETH and lock it in, but also build an interface, build a website where it shows a countdown, how many hours, how many days is left until one particular user can withdraw their funds from the HODL bank. This is a very good way of making money if you want to HODL, because crypto, it's best if you can HODL it, but most people cannot HODL it. So ensure that you HODL by locking it in the HODL bank. And when building this HODL bank idea, you would be using Moralis in order to read the smart contract. So Moralis reads whatever is in Solidity, and Moralis can parse which people have sent in the funds and how long they need to wait to unlock them. Let's go on to the next idea. The next groundbreaking idea is to build some kind of application that does lending. And of course, you don't have to do everything from scratch, because there are a bunch of lending protocols, like for example, Aave or Compound, and so on and so forth. So go to their API and try to understand it. One of the most fascinating things you can do with Aave are so-called flash loans. Basically means that you can take out millions of dollars without collateral, but you have to return it within the same transaction. So think about some ideas what you can do. I mean, one idea that I can see clearly is that you build some kind of interface. So you use Moralis in order to build the UI to be able to set up these flash loans. So you can build UI, somebody comes to your site, they want to take a flash loan, they write their address, and then they can also specify what they should do with that money within the same transaction, because remember, they have to return the money in the same transaction. So simplifying the process, making it simpler, maybe make some kind of wallet where you can take a flash loan and instantly you can say, hey, go and use this arbitrage opportunity. Because the whole idea with taking flash loans, I mean, why would you take a flash loan? Millions of dollars you can take of free money in flash loan, but you have to return it back within the same transaction. So why do you do that? Well, you do that if you see an arbitrage opportunity. For example, you see that on this exchange, on this DEX, the price of ETH is $100, for example, and on another DEX, price of ETH is $150. So you cannot use this arbitrage opportunity without a lot of money. So if you have a lot of money, you can buy here, you can sell there, and of course this applies to any coin. But Many people don't have, they see arbitrage opportunities, they have no money. But with flash loans, everyone has money. So long term, this will make crypto markets very efficient because all arbitrage opportunities can be acted upon very, very quickly. But that's another topic. The main idea, go and learn how you can use something like Aave SDK in order to build something around flash loans. The next idea is to build something around tokenization, and let me give you a clear example where you can make billions of dollars if you make this successfully and you make it to a global level. Well, there are many real estate companies that would love to tokenize the real estate so that you get an ERC20 token for, let's say, a square inch of an apartment complex. I mean, how great would it be to buy a square inch of some real estate? If you're a student, you don't have a lot of money, you cannot really invest in real estate, especially if you are in developing countries. But with this system, the idea is that if we tokenize real estate, we can have these digital tokens that are across the globe on the blockchain, and anyone can buy them, anyone can invest in any real estate in the world. And if you think about how the world will be in 20-30 years, this is how it's gonna be. It's gonna be all online. You log into your MetaMask, you can buy real estate in all parts of the world. You can invest $10, you will get some square inches. This is, of course, how the future will be. But you don't need to have real estate to build this application. You build the platform. You build the platform where any real estate company can come and input the real estate. For example, real estate company comes and say, hey, I have this house with this address. It is this many square inches. So the size or square feet, the size, the address. This is how many tokens I want to issue. Number of tokens. And this is how the different rules are gonna be. So creating this platform where if it becomes the standard for tokenizing real estate, of course, it's mind-blowing. And then on this platform, different people can buy different tokens, different people can invest in different property. So this is very, very important. So in order to achieve this, you need to use Solidity in order to write smart contracts, and you need to use Moralis to build the user interface. Moralis can tell you which people have which real estate, how many tokens they have of which real estate. Moralis can tell you, okay, this house, this is how it's tokenized, and these are the current owners of that house, for example. The imagination is really, your imagination will set the limits here. And these are only a few ideas that I have. I have so many. I mean, I can make 10 of these videos to you. But let's take it in the future.